Not every cat announces what it needs. Some of them just show you, quietly, over and over, until you finally understand. This is the story of a calico named Clementine and the small white paw that changed everything. Daniel found her on a Tuesday morning outside the animal clinic where he worked as a vet technician. She was sitting by the back door in the cold, soaked from the overnight rain, too tired to even meow properly. No collar, no chip, just a thin, shivering calico with mismatched patches of orange, white, and brown, staring up at him like she'd been waiting for exactly this moment. He carried her inside, wrapped her in a towel, and set her on the exam table. She was underweight, maybe a year old, dehydrated but otherwise healthy enough to make it. The vet gave her fluids. Daniel held her steady while the needle went in. And that's when it happened for the first time. She reached out with one small white paw and pressed it flat against his hand. Not a flinch, not a reflex. She placed it there deliberately and left it resting against his palm like she was trying to say something. Daniel smiled and thought nothing of it. Scared cats do strange things, he told himself. He had seen plenty of nervous animals grab onto whatever was nearby. But she did it again during the next exam, and the one after that. By the third day, Daniel had started noticing something odd. Every single time he picked her up, that same paw would come out and press against the back of his hand. Not once, not twice, every time without exception. He tried to test it once. He held a treat in one hand and offered the other, palm up, completely empty. Clementine ignored the treat entirely. Her paw went straight for the empty hand, pressing down like she was making a point he wasn't quite getting yet. He mentioned it to one of the vets, half joking. She looked at Clementine for a long moment and said something Daniel wouldn't fully understand until much later. "Some cats do that," she said. "It usually means something." Daniel didn't push for more of an explanation that day, but the comment stayed with him, quietly repeating itself every time that small paw found his hand again. The clinic wasn't equipped to keep strays long-term, so Daniel started fostering her at home while they looked for a permanent family. He told himself it was temporary, just a few weeks, maybe a month. He had a small apartment, a demanding job, and no real plan for a full-time cat. Clementine had other plans. The first night in his apartment, she wouldn't settle. She climbed onto his chest at midnight, then again at 2 in the morning, pressing that same paw against his hand each time, staring at him with wide amber eyes like she was asking him something he didn't have words for yet. He started calling it her signal. Every time he sat on the couch, she'd climb up, place her paw against his palm, and simply stay there. When he worked at his desk, she'd sit beside his laptop and reach out, quiet and patient, waiting for him to notice. She never did it for food. She never did it during playtime. Only ever like this. Only ever toward his hand. Weeks passed, and the apartment slowly changed shape around her. She found the sunny patch of floor by the window and claimed it as her own. She learned the sound of his keys in the door and started waiting there a few minutes before he actually arrived. He hadn't planned on any of it, but somehow the rhythm of his days had already folded itself around her without him noticing exactly when it happened. A few weeks in, Daniel took her out to the small patch of grass behind his building for the first time. She had never felt sunlight on her fur before, never smelled fresh air that didn't come through a vent. The moment he set her down, she froze. Then, slowly, she rose up onto her hind legs, front paws folded against her chest, and looked straight up at him, standing there in the grass, completely still, like she was waiting for permission to believe this was real. A neighbor watering plants nearby stopped and laughed softly, saying she'd never seen a cat stand like that before, like a tiny person asking a question. Daniel laughed it off at the time. He didn't yet understand how right she was. If you've made it this far, you clearly care about stories like this one. And honestly, that means more than you know. Stick around, because what Clementine did next is the reason this story exists at all. By week 5, Daniel had scheduled a call with a local rescue group. He told himself it was the responsible thing to do. His hours were long, his apartment was small, and a young cat deserved someone who could give her more time than he could most days. He almost believed it. Then came the night everything shifted. Clementine wouldn't settle. She climbed onto his chest, then paced, then climbed back up again, pressing her paw into his palm and holding it there longer than she ever had before, staring into his eyes like she was asking him not to let her go. Daniel lay awake in the dark, her paw resting against his hand, and thought about the rain that first morning, how small and cold she'd been outside that door. He thought about every single time since then that she had reached for him, never for food, never for play, only for his hand. What she'd been trying to tell him suddenly felt impossible to ignore. At 6 the next morning, he called the rescue and canceled. "I think I already found her home," he told them. The woman on the phone laughed gently and said she had a feeling he might say exactly that. From that morning forward, nothing about it ever felt uncertain again. A veterinary behaviorist Daniel spoke with later explained that some cats separated too early from their mothers carry that nursing gesture with them for life, redirecting it toward whoever gives them safety. A quiet, physical way of saying, "You are mine now, and I am not letting go." It was never an accident. It had never been instinct alone. It was Clementine's way of telling him every single day since that cold morning by the clinic door that she had already chosen him long before he ever made his decision official. Clementine is almost 2 years old now, 9 pounds of orange, white, and brown confidence who has fully claimed the armchair as her own personal throne. She still meets him at the door every evening, tail high, ready for the quiet routine they've built together. And she still does it. Every single time he scoops her up, that same small white paw finds his hand and presses down, deliberate and certain, exactly the way it did that very first day on the exam table. Some animals show love loudly, with noise and demands and constant motion. Clementine shows it with one small paw, pressed quietly against a hand that never once pulled away when it mattered. Because love doesn't always need words. Sometimes it comes in the form of a soft paw, a steady gaze, and a patience that waits until you're finally ready to understand. If you're ever thinking about bringing a rescue animal into your life, remember this: they don't always arrive already healed. Sometimes they arrive still asking in their own quiet language whether it's safe to stay. Be patient, be steady. Let them reach for you in their own time, and when they do, don't pull your hand away. So here's what I keep coming back to, and I genuinely love your take on this one. Do you think cats reach out to us on purpose, choosing us the way we choose them? Or is it something simpler than that, something we only read as meaning because we want it to mean something? There's no wrong answer here. Tell me what you think in the comments below.